How to convert your online sales data into valuable information. To get from changing your raw data, which here are your sales orders, into the valuable nuggets of gold to manage your business, the insights better, you need to go through a process. The first thing you can do is really look at your existing e-commerce reports and the add-on apps to see what they provide. Shopify's got hundreds of add-on apps. In my video about extracting the maximum value from your data, you also get a few tips on how you can use your information better and organise it better to actually do this. But the first thing is, don't discount what's there. You might find some of it is useful and then you might not need anything else. If you do need more things, then you need a plan to get from being where you are with your dashboards into a more bespoke system which gives you everything you want. And the high level tips, as I say, is don't overcomplicate it. Make sure you bring in all the information that's required, but don't bring in any extra information, because I've seen a lot of time and energy wasted where people are trying to bring in absolutely everything, and actually if they manage to get the first things in place quite quickly, they get a lot more value in their business. Then you can add to it and evolve it over time rather than trying to over specify before you start. The second tip I'd say is always get something customized. You want it to show exactly how your business works, otherwise there's no value. If you don't understand what a field means, you can't use it. So really it's got to be specific to you and something that you understand and all use. Third principle I go for is to make sure it's automated. Always make sure there's absolutely minimal manual intervention, because I know how busy all your retailers are. I've seen time and time again the idea is to do something, but everybody's so busy flat out to the max that they just can't add in an extra process beyond that. So the market for data dashboards and data insight tools is absolutely enormous. Gartner estimates it's around 40 billion at the moment worldwide and it's growing every year. We use this piece of software, Dashboard from Good Data, but Power BI is the Microsoft one, which is a very affordable package. Looker's a Google one, there's Click, Tableau, and I could go on. But most of the software also, you get a free trial with it, you get someone talk you through it, so you can get a look and feel of the different ones. But essentially they all work in the same way. The database feeds into a data warehouse, which then creates a data model within the dashboard, and then it produces a front end, where you get the queries you want to. And the reason why everybody doesn't take the data directly from their online sales straight into the data dashboard is the fact that there's very little control. So if you've got a data warehouse in between, you can actually organise your data as you want to see it. First thing you can do is bring in the dates. So you can bring in the dates that you want to see. You can then bring in the time period. You can do a lot of calculations as well. So if you want to know the time since the last purchase and date things like that, it's more efficient to do it all in this data warehouse than it is to do it in the front end software, which will be slowed down the more you've got in it. You also will have it's also a very efficient database. It's an SQL database. You can handle all the relational tables because every single piece of information links together. For example, if you're selling a product with multiple sizes, there's a child level table, there's a parent level table, and it gets more and more complicated. As well as having the control over what you bring in terms of the date ranges, you can also pick the fields you want. So you can do, as I mentioned in my previous video around maximising the value of the data you bring in, you can get rid of the enticing descriptions, and you can also change the data so it's more user friendly, so it becomes less raw e-commerce data and have a more human format. The other thing you can do is also you can output a simplified set of tables that go into the data model in your chosen software, so you don't have to bring everything in, which can be very complicated, into your final piece of software. And the other nice thing which I really like about the data warehouses is that every single day we run it, we actually run a query saying, is the information in the e-commerce site the same as what we brought into the warehouse or not? And if so, we've got a check straight away, so we're spotting something. So it's really good to have that check, so we're not just bringing in data that we found out later has had a problem with it, but where an API has changed or something, we're able to address it. And the middle part here, this is a data model, and this will come out of your data warehouse. It's a simplified set of tables to bring in. So you bring this in your database software, whether you've got the Power BI, Good Data, Looker or Click. And what you do is for every single table, you'll have a list here that brings all the information in. And then you'll have to put all the relationships between the different tables, how they connect together. And then you also, these little arrows show what the connection is. And so based down to the individual fields to work out which the primary keys are and how they're linking together. Although this isn't requiring programming skills, it can still be fairly complex. And not everything will work right, because if you haven't got information at the right level in the same first place, it's not going to look so good. The database build is all set here. This is where you build up your dashboard. So there's customized widgets, whatever system you do, and you can drag and drop the ones you want, choose whether you want a pie chart, whether you want some numbers. And that's a fairly standard thing to do. Obviously, you're all aware of dashboards in different places. It's no different. You just want to build the information that you want to see. You can build it in-house or you can build it externally. To build it in-house, I think that's fine, as long as you've got the skills that are sitting there ready to do this, because it's quite a big project. You've got to have the vision of the analytics where you want to get to. You want to know about your reporting. You need someone who can really code an SQL database and handle all of that on a daily basis. And you also need a project manager. I've seen where retailers go wrong, where someone actually says, I'm going to do this work, and then it takes them a long time to do it, which is time that they could be spending better in the business. Third-party relationships and providers such as Dello Insights, it's great because it frees up your time, and there is a cost involved to it, but you'd have to weigh up the time whether the cost of doing it yourselves against the time of bringing in someone else is worthwhile doing. And also you need to be able to support them, so you need to be sure that you're actually able to deliver that third party, make sure they're delivering what they want to do. I think actually only go for the third party if it's proportionate to what you need. If you can get something working in something simple like Power BI, then don't go beyond that. The last consideration really is that to get the most out of your dashboard, you will need some staff training. Who's going to operate the dashboard? Who's going to run it? What materials you want behind it? And what's in the templates? So the conclusion I'd really make is if you get everything right, you're then able to start finding the value information that you need. If you want to learn more, there's more videos on YouTube, or you can get in touch with me via LinkedIn or email.